everyone and welcome to my channel. For those new here, my name's Nicki. I'm an author and editor and I post videos here on YouTube about writing, editing, reading and all the other things I love. And we're here today because it's the end of the month, so it's time to wrap up all the things I've been watching on film and TV for the last 4 weeks or so. I say all the things, but as you're here, today is a fairly limited one because I've not been out and about watching a lot of different stuff this month. However, there will be some fangirling towards the end, so just a bit of a warning for that. Kicking us off then, I only went to the cinema once this month, and that wasn't through lack of interest in what was on. There were a couple of other things I would have liked to have seen, but I just haven't got the spare cash at the moment. So the only one I went to was Beast. This is an indie film, and it's about a young girl, she's in her 20s. She had a bit of a turbulent teenage period, and because of that her mother keeps her on a pretty tight leash even though she's an adult now. She's meets this guy, and it's a bit of an opposites attract thing. She comes from a fairly affluent family and the guy is a poacher and you know, a bit of a poorer sort, if you like. In the background there are these murders of teenage girls that have been going on, and the guy she's fallen for turns out to be the prime suspect. I'm not going to say anything more about the story because potentially I could spoiler it very easily, so I will just say there's a lot of sort of sexual drama and there's a lot of a sort of murder mystery aspect in a way, but a very dark version of that. I thought this was a brilliant film. I gave it 5 stars. Really, really enjoyable. Awesome performances from the 2 leads, and beautifully shot. I loved the use of music. The soundscape was really important, and it was absolutely fascinating piece, and it's one I definitely like to watch again, and I think it's one of those films you probably take something a little bit different away from it each time. So I'm glad I went to that one. I was hoping to do Christopher Robin too, but as I said, money was the issue, and I figured Christopher Robin being a big major kids release, it's going to be on TV, it's going to be on Netflix or something at some point, whereas Beast being more of an indie release maybe wouldn't come on TV or would take a lot longer, so that's why I went with that one, and I'll catch up on my Winnie the Pooh nostalgia at a later date. Looking ahead into October, there's a couple of things I'm hoping to see then. Definitely Venom and the Seagull, fingers crossed, so I'll talk to you about those hopefully next time. I didn't actually end up watching any Netflix movies this month, and the only TV I watched on streaming or on the TV was the 2nd season of Iron Fist. I'm a huge Marvel fan, as you know. However, the first Iron Fist I only thought was okay. I found the character of Danny Rand really whiny and annoying. And I'm glad to say they have fixed that a little bit in the 2nd series. He does it a tiny bit, but not as much. I thought the storyline was much more interesting this time. I thought the characters were stronger. I enjoyed the stuff that was going on with Ward. I quite like him as a character. I thought the threat was better this time too. And all in all, I would say that they took the weaker points of the 1st series and fixed them to a reasonable extent. So I definitely found this more enjoyable. I was switching off less during it. I was a bit more engaged with what was happening. So I'm really pleased about that. I think that's a great pickup for them. We've got Daredevil season 3 coming next month, so I'll talk to you about that at the end of October. I'm really excited for that one because Daredevil is my favourite of the Defenders. I've always enjoyed his series more than the others, so I'm hoping season 3 will be strong too. So what else have I been doing with my time? I've hardly been to the cinema, I've hardly streamed anything on Netflix or SBS On Demand or anything. What have I been watching? Well, you may remember me mentioning in previous videos that I have been doing an epic Angel and Buffy rewatch, which I'm going to say for the purposes of this video is finished. Actually, I'm filming this on the Thursday. The video will go out on the Saturday, and I think I will be finishing the final episodes of the final season of Buffy over the weekend, so probably by Sunday. However, because I know the series, I've seen it before, the fact I haven't watched the last handful of episodes yet, I thought isn't going to stop me from doing my wrap up for this month. So, Angel and Buffy, I grew up with these shows. I mean, I was a teenager and in my early 20s when it was streaming, the same as Buffy. I was only like just off by a year or two of her age from memory. So it's a show that really played an important part in my teenage years, my formative years. And I've always loved it. And over the years, I mean, I know I watched it, I did a big rewatch again around my mid-20s. But I think it has probably been 8 to 10 years since I last really sat down and watched it all. I mean, occasionally I'll be in the mood for a particular episode, which I'll have put on and watched. But in terms of sitting there and doing start to finish every single episode, it has been a while. And I really enjoyed it. It's interesting coming back to it in my 30s. I mean, it's quite funny. You look at some of the special effects now and they're a bit amusing. But aside from that, I think the show is still so strong. I mean, the characters are brilliant. The plots are brilliant. They have a great message without being preachy. And I've thoroughly, even though I know what's going to happen in all the episodes, I've really been excited to put an episode or two on each night and get back into that world. With Angel, I always enjoyed Angel. It's a little bit darker than Buffy. And Wesley was always my favourite character, and that's still the same, that's still true now. I loved his journey. I liked him when he was a bumbling bit of an idiot at the start when we first met him in Buffy, but then I also love him when he gets a bit hardcore later on. And he's always been my favourite. I think he's brilliant. And then in Buffy, it's all about Spike for me. I adore Spike. I've always liked Spike more than Angel. Excuse me. And I think I noticed that even more watching it again now. I mean, I always found Angel a little bit whiny, but watching it now in my 30s with a bit more life experience than that behind me, I do kind of think he's a bit self-centered as well, Angel. It's all about his pain, his drama, and so he's whinging, but he's also being a bit of a narcissist about it as well. So I don't hate him as a character, you know, he's okay, but I just kind of think sometimes you just want to tell him to get over it. Get over yourself, Angel. Whereas Spike, you tend not to do that so much. I love Spike's journey through the series, and I just find him a bit more appealing. You know, if it was a choice for me, if I were Buffy and I could choose Angel or Spike, then I'd be picking Spike every time, even before he got his soul back. So I love him. Anyway, I won't fangirl too much, but Spike, yay. So it has been really great fun. I mean, my husband's been sitting watching. He watched Angel properly with me, like paying attention. Buffy, he's not quite so keen on, but he'll sit with me in the lounge and do work on his laptop while I'm watching, and he'll look up and watch a little bit. So it has been really awesome. I mean, they are brilliant. I'd still give them 5 stars even now. And I think saying that, I keep hearing they're going to do a reboot. I know, sorry, I'm just going a bit off topic here, but that idea absolutely appalls me, because when you've done something right the first time, why do you need to redo it? Please don't redo it. Anyway, getting back to Buffy, I won't fangirl on for too long anyway, but it is a wonderful series. It has a lot of great stuff in it, and it stands the test of time, I think. You know, you can laugh at the special effects a little bit, but the story, the characters, and all the stuff that was going on, I'll still be watching them happily in my 60s and 70s, I think. So, awesome stuff. That's what I've been up to. That's what's been keeping me busy, but I have now finished, which is a bit sad. I'm going to be a little bit withdrawn, I think. Have Buffy withdrawal or Spike withdrawal in particular. But there's a few things coming up that I'm going to watch in October to get me out of it. So Series 3 of Outlander just went up on Netflix. We've got, as I said, Series 3 of Daredevil. And I'm rather hoping Series 3 of Lucifer might come up soon as well, because Series 2 came out about this time last year. So fingers crossed, we will get our Series 3 of Lucifer on Netflix soon. So I'm going to end there anyway. I'll stop waffling on. It's been a bit of a waffly one this week, I'm sorry. But I will close for there. See you all again at the end of next month, and hopefully I'll have a few more diverse shows to share with you. Bye for now, everyone.